Hello! Welcome to the KetoMom page. My name is Stephanie, and we are going through a book called Worthy. Today, we're going to talk about how you're not crazy, you're just first. So, before we dive in and have a conversation, tell me where you're tuning in from. I'm tuning in from Florida in my room. The girls are up and getting ready for school, and it's going to be a great morning. All right, I have my ketones mixed with my electrolytes. They're almost gone. And how do you start your morning off? Are you a coffee drinker? Do you intermittent fast? Do you drink ketones? How are you starting your morning off this morning? And if you're brand new, we're going through books in the morning. We're going through books to help you understand the power of your mindset. The point of, I like to say KetoMom in the morning, is to go, hey, we're going to chat about your mindset. We're going to talk about your belief system. We're going to help unravel, untwist. We're going to help you get through this like self-sabotaging mindset that talks you out of the things that you know that you should do, want to do, need to do, right? Like you being you. You going after the things that you want, but maybe you don't believe that you're worthy of. That's what we're going to talk about. So, excuse me. We are in chapter 3. It's called You're Not Crazy, You're Just First. So we're going to talk about that here shortly. If at any point in time you have questions, you can ask them below. You can send me a message when we're done. You can always go to KetoMomSecrets.com. I don't know why I feel so cloggy today. Excuse me. KetoMomSecrets.com. You can click on foods lists, recipes, how to get started. We have a book club that I've done so many different books over the last 2 years. And this is a book that we're doing today. I would say take a screenshot, grab the book, listen to the Audible. It is super, super, super insightful. And I really would love to know, how is your morning doing? Hello, everybody, as you're popping on. And tell me, how do you start your morning? Do you eat? Do you eat breakfast? Do you intermittent fast? Do you drink coffee? Are you a ketone drinker? What do you do? Okay, so the thought for today, I'm not going to read you the entire chapter if you're brand new. I'm going to give you just a couple thoughts. And really quick, she says, you're not crazy, you're just fine. And she tells a ton of stories. I'm not going to read them to you, but what she basically says is she goes partially through her life and realizing that she's very different than either people in her family. She's very different than friends. She has all these thoughts, these creative ideas, things that she wants to achieve, and yet she almost feels bad for it because people wanted her to fit into the status quo. That's not what we do. That's not what people do. Wait, that's weird. Like, you're crazy. Why would you do that? Right? And maybe people have said that to you. Oh, none of our family has gone to college. Oh, no, we don't do that in our family. No, that's weird. That makes us feel uncomfortable, so we don't want you to do it. You've always been that size, you'll be just fine. You'll never be that size. Our family doesn't look like that. You won't achieve that. That's weird. How have you heard any of these before? Like, have you ever had these thoughts and ideas and dreams and goals and ambitions, and you've had somebody or multiple people go, that's not you? So the point of this book is to help you realize, like, you are worthy, but it's okay to be individually you. It's okay to stand out. It's okay to go after the things that you're longing for. And so here's what she said. I loved it. I'm not going to read the stories to you, but I'm going to read you something. She went and sat with a therapist, and she's like, I keep getting told I'm crazy. I'm crazy. And here's what her was it her therapist? As she was sitting with them, her first appointment, her therapist said to her, she says, she goes, guess what? You're actually not going crazy, because some of you might feel this way. She explained how when you're the first one in your peer group, your family, your community to challenge the status quo, it can feel very isolating. When you're the first or the only one to feel differently, we can feel author. Is it author? Author. When you don't morph who you really truly are to fit in, and we show up as our authentic self, it can be worrisome to others who live in a comfort zone where fitting in is the path to acceptance. When you're the first to break the mold of your conditioned belief system, it can come with loneliness, stress, and trauma. She then explained how when you live out of alignment with who you truly are in order to fit in, you actually live divided. And that division can also come with great expense to our mental and our physical health. She goes, you're not crazy. You're just first. You might be the first friend that finally goes, I'm going to take my health seriously. Or first person in your family. Or, hey, I'm actually going to be the first to go, you know what? Everybody always thought this is what I wanted to do, and I went to school for this, and this is what I'm supposed to do because this is what fits me into this mold, but actually I'm feeling pulled to go do this, right? Like, you're not crazy for believing different for your family or for your own personal health. You just get to go first. She goes, I'm not wrong, I'm first. I'm not bad, I'm just first. I'm not broken, I'm just first. I'm not a mistake, I'm just first. I'm not off course, I'm just first. First to lead the pack in your sphere of influence. What if the thing that you thought was wrong with you is actually one of the greatest things that's right with you? I think this book is really insightful, super great. I would highly recommend that you grab it. The last thing I'm going to read is this. When we courageously take steps towards unlearning the lies and gaining awareness of the truth, and assessing the impact of living our lives in a way that is inauthentic, disconnected. Let me reread that. When we courageously take steps towards unlearning the lies and gaining awareness of truth, and assessing the impact of living our lives in a way that are inauthentic, disconnected, numb, people-pleasing, and out of alignment with who we truly are, we begin our journey of going from unseen to seen, from invisible to visible, from disconnected to connected, from doubting ourselves to trusting ourselves, from craving love to realizing that we already are love. And what I believe that she's talking about is she's just talking about the fact of, like, you are your own person. You are worthy to achieve whatever it is that you want to go after, right? And oftentimes we sit in this comfort zone because somebody said you couldn't, or you told yourself you couldn't, and it's supposed to be this way. But when we start going and start questioning things and going, why do I believe this? What am I actually doing? Why am I not going after the thing that's here, but I keep talking myself out of it here? So the book Worthy, this is the book. I think it's exciting. I think it's refreshing. My husband and I were just talking so many things. There's so many things that we were talking about. Walking in love and forgiveness this morning. My husband and I are reading a book together, and for those who are asking about the book, here's the book. It's called Worthy. And just when you shift your mindset to, like, and I've said this before, my daughter was reading a book called The Traveler's Gift, and it's a fictional book, but it's got a story based on, like, virtues and character. And so the story that she was reading, and Abraham Lincoln in this book said, I don't know if he physically said this, so don't quote me on this, but in the book, as he was teaching a lesson, he said, I greet every morning with forgiveness. I greet the morning with forgiveness. And forgiveness, another word for forgiveness that my husband and I were talking about this morning is love. And I often think that, man, there's so many things we talked about this morning. But forgiveness, loving other people, like, if you could physically walk through your day and your morning and in your workspace and in all of your environments that you go in and out of with forgiveness and love, what would it do not only for you, but for other people around you, right? And would it allow you to be authentically you? And would it give you this, like, I'm going to go do the things that I know I need to do, not to prove to anybody, but to be authentically me and to know that I am worthy to do it. So there's so much that we get to learn together. The next chapter that we'll go through tomorrow says you have greatness inside of you. So, and she does get more tactical. She goes back and forth. This is really story driven. So if you love to read stories and you're inspired by stories, go grab the book, listen to it. If you're feeling unworthy or you're like, I just need something to get myself out of this rut, this mindset, this belief system that it's not serving me, this would be a great book for you to start with. So I want to say thank you for tuning in. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. There's a lot of things that I told myself yesterday. I talk about this so often. Just the longing to make sure that people are inspired, right? So I'm in a season of life, and then I'll end this, where we are raising teenagers, and it's exciting, it's wild, it's preparing for those teenagers to leave. It's like checking my heart. It's making sure that I'm doing the best that I can do. Also, talking to these women that are in my circle, my friends. I've got like teenagers going on. I've got like my own personal belief system and kind of like almost awaiting the next step, even in business, that I'm like sitting back and waiting. I've got this, I'm going to say this, I don't know if there's any men on here, but I've got this new conversation and this new topic that has arose around premenopause that I'm learning about. If you're a man, I apologize. But there's so many things. You guys, I have 4 daughters. If you did not know that, we have 4 girls. They're 16, 14, 12, and 10. Soon to be 11 and soon to be 13. So they're all soon, right? And it's very interesting to me because I'm learning, there's a lot of things that have been talked about for women, but I'm also learning how many things are not taken seriously for women, and how many, I'm not talking about feminism. I'm talking about just like learning about the girls and teaching them about their body. And there's a serious conversation going on in social media with women and what is the sickness? It has to do with tampons. So I know if you're a man, please forgive me, but like teaching these girls how to take care of their body and the power of so many things, right? Learning for myself about hormones and how to make sure. I was listening to a woman, and I'm totally going off track, but I'm going to start talking about this more because I think it's super important. I'm listening to a lady on Instagram. I'm going to share her Instagram on my stories, and she's incredible. And her goal is to help women go through menopause well. Yes, toxic shock syndrome. Lori, thank you. Toxic shock syndrome. And it's a conversation I'm having with my girls. And things like that I didn't really know about when I was younger. But it's what I love about social media is how you can learn, right? And then share with other people. So Julie, I don't remember this lady's name, but she's an incredible, I want to say like doctor, but also functional medicine doctor. She's got so many people that follow her. And she does an incredible job helping women understand their bodies and helping women go. Here's what she said the other day. She said, did you know that there's more women that go into nursing homes and assisted living for a couple reasons? Because when they go through menopause and they don't do it well, they lose their bone density, like they lose bone mass. Did I say that right? They lose muscle, and their brain is not functioning the way it's doing well. And what she's saying is this. She is talking about how if you do menopause well and if you age well, which has to do with making sure that your body is fueled right, you don't have to go through some of these things that we think that we're supposed to. I keep getting people asking about the book that we're going through. The book is called Worthy. I'm not going through a menopause book. It's just a topic that I've been reading about and learning over the last couple weeks that's very intriguing to me, and I want to do it well. And I think most women, I don't want women to be afraid to talk about things, right? So you're going to see me sharing more on my stories. If you don't know what stories are, like on Instagram, click on the little circle of the face and watch stories, because you can learn so much in such short little clips about women. And oh, it's just so interesting and so intriguing. So this is a book worthy. I am going to dive more into, I think, I want to say my age category. What is all about? Anyways, if you have questions, you can ask me questions below. Questions on keto, questions on how to lose weight, questions on so many things. And if you, oh, Heidi, you're so sweet. I'm just kind of babbling. But a lot of my thought process recently is, how do we age well? How do we age well? That is something that I am diving into for myself. I want to make sure that my body is strong, my mindset is strong. Like, I'm going to age well so that I can be here for my kids and grandkids, and that I can help inspire other women to do the same, right? And it's a couple tweaks of aging well and what that looks like. So I'll share more later. But if you have questions, ask questions below. Continue to tune into the KetoMom page. Reach out. You can always go to ketomomsecrets.com. If you have questions, one part of aging well is drinking ketones. Ketones preserve muscle. Ketones turn on your brain. Ketones help us age well. I can say it's going to help you with fat loss all day long. I believe that, like, for example, Heidi on here, Heidi has lost, I want to say it's over 100 pounds. She's incredible. She's one of my dear friends. And it's about good habits. It's about eating well. It's about moving your body. A lot of it has to do with mindset. She drinks ketones. I drink ketones. If you want to know more, post trial in the comments. It can help you with fat loss, but I'm going to tell you, who has 190 pounds. She's incredible. And it's so fun to be on this journey with her and just the business that we're in. And I want you to understand something. As we age, and maybe you're like, listen, I want to lose some fat, but I also want to age well, meaning muscle preservation, like longevity. I want to feel good. I feel like the overview of what people want is fat loss, but what we need to really talk about is our brain aging well? Are we sustaining muscle? Because as soon as we don't do those things, like, it can go downhill very quickly. So, rabbit trail upon rabbit trail. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you very soon. Reach out with questions. Post trial in the comments if you want to learn more about ketones. Bye, everybody.